Hello everyone, welcome back once again. So the internet moves faster, but every once in a while, a moment arrives that feels almost timeless, soft, genie, and impossible to ignore. That is exactly what happened when a short Easter video featuring Princess Lilibet quietly made its way online. What began as simple, joyful glimpse into a family holiday quickly transformed into a global talking point, sparking admiration, conversation, and quite unexpected fashion phenomenon. At the center of it all was Lilibet herself, radiant, carefree, and completely unaware of the wave she was about to create. Dressed in a delicate, pastel tone outfit that perfectly captured the spirit of Easter, she embodied something people rarely get to see, in the royal sphere, pure unfiltered childhood. There was no stage pose, no rage formality, just laughter, curiosity, and a little girl enjoying a day filled with sunshine, eggs, and wonder. So from the video itself was this warmingly simple Lilibet along her brother Archie could be seen running across a sunlit garden, her dress gently catching the breeze as she moved. So there was something almost cinematic about the way the moment unfolded. Soft light, natural laughter, and a sense of calm that felt words away from the usual noise surrounding the royal family. So it wasn't just a video, it was a feeling, and people across the globe felt it. So within hours, social media platform lit up, clips were shared, reposted, and reshared again with caption filtered with heart emojis, admiration, and one recurring question: where is that dress from? Where is that dress from? What might have once gone unnoticed became the focal point of worldwide search. Fashion enthusiasts, royal watcher, and everyday viewers alike became determined to find the exact outfit Lilibet wore. And then came the twist no one fully anticipated. The dress, described by many as effortless, elegant, and refreshing childlike, began to sell out. Not gradually, but almost instantly. Online retailers saw traffic spiking, page refresh at lightning speed, and within what felt like moment, the item disappeared entirely from the stock. So in some places, it wasn't just sold out, it was gone, pulled down, unavailable, as if it did vanish along with the fleeting Easter moment it represented. So this wasn't just about clothing, it became a symbol. In a world where fashion is often driven by high-profile campaign, carefully curated influencer deals, and million-dollar marketing strategy, Lilibet's impact came from something entirely different. Authenticity. There was no promotion, no announcement, no deliberate spotlight, just a child being herself. And that, it turns out, was more powerful than any advertisement. So observer quickly began drawing comparison to other moments in royal fashion history. There have always been instances where what royal wear influenced trend, but this felt different. There was a softness to it, relatability that resonated deeply. Lilibet wasn't attending a formal event or appearing in an official portrait. She was simply living her life. And the people connected with that in a profound way. Many also pointed out the subtle influence of Meghan, whose style has long been associated with understated elegance and tension simplicity. There's a recognizable trend that runs through moments like this. A focus on comfort, authenticity, and quite kind of beauty that doesn't demand attention but naturally draws it. In Lilibet's Easter appearance, that influence seemed to shine through not as statement but as reflection of value. The reaction wasn't limited to fashion circles. Parents in particular found themselves, drawn to the moment. There was something deeply relatable about seeing children dressed in a way that felt both special and practical. Something that honored the occasion without overshadowing the joy of simply being a child. So it sparked conversation about how children are represented in public space and how rare it is to see such unguided, heartfelt portrayal. Even beyond the dress itself, the video ignited a broader conversation about privacy and presence. Prince Harry and Meghan have been intentional about how they share glimpses of their children with the world. Choosing moments that feel meaningful rather than constant exposure. This careful balance has created an environment where each appearance carries weight, not because it's rare alone, but because it feels genuine. And that genuineness is what made the moment go viral. So people weren't just watching, they were connecting. They saw a family moment that felt real. And they saw laughter that wasn't rehearsed. They saw a little girl whose joy was contagious, and in a digital landscape, often filled with curated perfection, that kind of authenticity stand out in the most powerful way. As a story of the sold-out dress continued to spread, it became clear that the fascination wasn't fading anytime soon. Fashion blogs began analyzing the look, parenting forum discussed the video, and social media users kept revisiting the clip. Finding new details to approach each time. It had become more than a trend. So it was a moment people wanted to hold on to. There's also something quietly symbolic about the way the dress disappeared. Because it mirrors the fleeting nature of the moment itself. Beautiful, impactful, and impossible to fully capture or replicate. You can restock an item, recreate a design, or even find similar style, but you can't recreate the feeling that made it special in the first place. So in many ways, that is the true story here. It is not just about the dress selling out. It is about the power of authenticity in a world that often feels overly manufactured. So it's about how a single Guinea moment can ripple outward, touching people across continent and culture. And it's about how even the smallest details, a child outfits, a laughter, a quiet family celebration, can remind people of something deeper and more meaningful. So as the dust begins to settle and the internet move on to its next obsession, these moments will likely remain in people's mind a little longer than most. And not because it was loud or dramatic, but because it was soft, real, and unexpectedly powerful. And at the heart of it all is Lilibet, unaware of the headlines, untouched by the freeze, simply living a childhood in a way that, for a brief moment, brought the world together. That is not just viral, that is unforgettable. And perhaps what makes this moment linger even more powerful is the quiet construct it offers to the world. We have all grown used to the world of constant noise, endless commentary, and carefully constructed image competing for attention. Lilibet's Easter appearance didn't demand to be seen. It simply existed gently and unassuming, yet strong enough to cut through everything else. So it reminded people of something deeply human, the beauty of innocence, the warmth of family, and the kind of joy that doesn't need validation to be real. Long after the dress has sold out, restocked, or been replicated in countless versions, what will truly remain in the feeling it created? A pause, a smile, a shared moment of softness that people across the world experience together. In that sense, this wasn't just a viral clip or fleeting trend. It became a cultural snapshot of what still resonates most in a fast-moving world. Authenticity, simplicity, and undeniable magic of a child just being a child. Thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.